on Windy City Live.
Well, you know, teachers have a huge impact on our lives, especially the great ones. They're hard to forget and even harder to replace when they decide to retire.
Yeah, our own Mark DeCarlo had one of those teachers, and over the last 52 years, so did 8,000 other students who walked the halls at Benet Academy in Lisle. And this week, it's his last week on the job. Take a look.
Since 1959, this is what Room 120 has looked like at Benet Academy in Lisle. The room is nothing special. Brick walls, old desks, textbooks, and the classics.
We'll start.
Everything's the same.
She's afraid she's not going to get to read.
Including the teacher.
Okay, go.
But that's all changing. After over a half-century at the helm, Tim White is hanging up the chalk.
This is great. They don't know when class ends. I never really knew I was going to be a teacher till I was. I entered my career in this school teaching 3 different subjects and coaching 3 sports. You don't have a human being that would ever do that today. Because they're smarter.
So you get here, you're 21 years old. What are the subjects that you have taught here at Benet over the years?
Chemistry, physics, math, religion, general science too.
But what he's most famous for is his English class.
Is he out of gas?
No. I mean, you saw him today. He walks around. He gets involved in the class.
Depends on who looks at it.
But he was just doing that because the camera was here, right?
No,
Normally,
that's-
he's just a broken down old man who has no energy,
every
right?
day he walks back and forth and he talks to us, and he's always really involved with us.
I would do anything to keep their attention, as you well remember, including spitting on you.
And he spits, but I always sit in the back, so I've never witnessed.
We would move the seats back because you'd get wet.
You always told me
You
that.
know what? Going to your class is like going to a Gallagher show.
Go to graduation practice. That's where you're supposed to. I love teaching. I love the classroom. I love making out tests. I don't mind correcting tests. I don't mind all the hours that you have to spend that nobody knows about. Mm-hmm. But every weekend, pile of papers, and I thought, you know, I would rather watch the White Sox. I would rather go play golf. I'd rather do anything than read these papers. And the only way I can stop reading these papers is to stop teaching.
You've been teaching high school for 52 years. How has high school changed? How has teaching high school changed? Are they better readers when they get here because they're on the computer all the time?
No.
Worse?
Yeah, worse. I can prove that. We have a class now just for kids to make them better readers. Texting doesn't make them better writers, I'll tell you. You know, the little symbols and stuff, and you know, and spell check doesn't make them better spellers, and you know, there's a lot of things that are different. Repetition. You know, we've got to be creative. You got to think. You know, well, if you have nothing to think about, it doesn't do you any good.
I'm going to miss him immensely. I think he's really what Benet is all about. And so of all the people who are here, I think he embodies most of what the spirit of the school is. And without him, you know, I don't know what this place is going to be like. It's going to be different.
When you walk out of here for the last time, you going to be sad?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. How can you not be sad? I got the best job in the world. I've always felt that.
30 years later, and every time I write something for work, I hear your voice in the back of my head.
Hey, that's good. I never got in my car and drove the 15 miles to school thinking I hate to go to work. Never. What else could you do with your life where you could say, I'm doing something worthwhile?
So Mark is in Lisle right now, and we're going to send it over to him. Mark.
Good morning. We are live here in Lisle, Illinois at Benet Academy with Dr. Tim White. What was your doctorate in?
Humanities.
And has that come into play in these half a century of teaching?
No. Not really.
No, really?
No, not really.
So was this a complete waste?
Yeah, well, that was, yeah. It was just honorary.
Oh, I see.
It was just an honorary thing for teaching so long.
And you stumbled into teaching, we touched on it a little bit in the piece, but it wasn't even your original plan. You were going to be a newspaper guy, right?
Yeah, I was working for a newspaper, and then I was actually studying to be an engineer, chemical engineer, and I just stumbled into it.
So
But you know, God has plans for everybody.
Yes. You've probably taught about 8,000 kids over 52 years.
I think so, yeah.
You put your fingerprints on a lot of people. It's got to be a very gratifying thing, right?
Yes, very gratifying, but sometimes heartrending too when you see them go and you don't see them anymore. I'd like to see people like you come back and find out you were successful.
Really?
Yeah,
All right.
you're successful.
We brought some extra people back to say hi to you. These are some of your recent graduates, some of the older alumni. We wanted to give you a big goodbye because you've been here 52 years and you've made an incredible impression on me and thousands of people that came through here.
You surprised me.
We did. And I just want to thank you for being the teacher I will always think about. I really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
Thank
It was
you.
fun doing it. And Benny!
Are you awesome?
That's great. That's great.
I think he's going to cry.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Mark. That was great. 52 years, Dr. Tim White.